Hey guys, today we are going to learn about another one of the most important topic, that is the physical world, which is the basic of the physics. So in this topic we are going to know what is science first of all. So science is the systematized and organized knowledge about the various natural phenomena, which humans have gained through observations and experiments. So now what is science? Now science is the systematized and organized knowledge about various natural phenomena which humans have gained through observation and experiments. So this is science. Basically we can say science means an organized knowledge, but it is a systematic attempt to understand natural phenomena and use this knowledge to predict, modify and control those natural phenomena. This is of about science. Okay. Then this word science originates from the Latin word. This word science originates from the Latin verb scientia, meaning to know. The science word comes from the Latin verb scientia, which means to know. Okay, so this is science. Now, the types of sciences. Basically, there are two types. One is physical science and another is biological science. Physical science. So what is physical science? Are the sciences which deals with non-living things are called physical science. Okay, some of the examples are, you can say the branches of physical science are, example, physics, chemistry, geology, geography, astronomy, astrology, oceanology, it is. So these are some of the branches of physical science. In this branch we are going to study or going to know the natural phenomena that are occurring related to non-living things. So these are the factors or chapters, or you can say these are the branches of physical science. Now the second part, that is the biological science. Biological science, the sciences which deals which deals with living things are called biological science. Okay, the sciences that deals which deals with the study of natural phenomena or study of the facts and factors about living things are called biological sciences. And some of the branches of these examples, what are the branches of this biological science? Now, botany, zoology, ornithology, anthropology, entomology, forensic science, etc. So these are some of the branches of biological science in which we are going to study about the living things and their happenings, their characteristics, all that thing. So these are the types of sciences. Now comes here the scientific attitude. One of the basic or important part that helps to study the factors or the happenings and events about the science. Okay, what is scientific attitude? Now it is due to the use of scientific attitude and scientific methods also that tremendous growth of science has taken place. Okay, so scientific it is due to the use of scientific attitude and scientific methods that tremendous growth of science has taken place. So basically, this is a person or anybody who are going to know who are the curiosity or the enthusiasm that to know anything about the natural happenings or events that are occurring in the nature, whatever may be. It may be related to living things or it may be related to non-living things. The scientific attitude must be within that person. Otherwise, it will be very difficult or hardship that will be felt by that person to know anything about the natural happenings. So it is one of the most parameters that should be possessed by that person going to know related to the science. So it is due to the use of scientific attitude and scientific methods that tremendous growth of science has taken place. The scientific attitude requires an open-minded approach towards solving problems. So in the due course of studying or knowing the related phenomena, the cause and concept of the natural events are happening in the nature, so a person may fail, or that researcher or person who is going to study that may fail a number of problems that comes in face of it. So to develop the solution about that problem, one should be very open-minded or broad-minded. That means a various solution can come or various path can come to him or her to find the solution of that problem. So if the solution for a problem works satisfactorily, if the solution for a problem works satisfactorily, it is then adopted if not a better solution to the same problem is found. Okay, so if a solution is found for a problem and it works satisfactorily, giving us a positive result, then that solution is being adopted and the related theories are being developed for the future generation. And if that solution is not satisfactorily works, then a better solution to the same problem is used to find out. Okay, this is the concept of scientific attitude. Okay, clear? Then comes your scientific method. Scientific methods. It is another important part. That scientific method. What is scientific method? And the basic part of this. Okay, just one part is scientific attitude. That means the development of curiosity, enthusiasm about knowing the reason behind the natural happenings. Another part is the scientific method. What are the steps that should be followed in order to study the cause and pros and cons about the natural happenings or events? Scientific method is the step-by-step approach. It is the step-by-step approach. This is the step-by-step approach used by a scientist in studying. Approach used by a scientist in studying natural phenomena and establishing natural phenomena and establishing laws which governs these phenomena. Laws which governs these phenomena. Okay, so it is the step-by-step approach used by a scientist or researcher in studying the natural phenomena and then establishing or developing the laws which will govern these phenomena, or which will control these phenomena. How the phenomena is occurring, why this is occurring, and what are the results of that phenomena is going to be. These are being found or written in the laws that will govern or control the phenomena. So the scientific method involves the following steps. It involves the following steps. Be it A, observation. First of all, the scientist has to observe the natural phenomena that is occurring in the nature. So with a very keen interest and curiosity and very sharply or patiently, the observer has to observe the natural phenomena that is occurring in the nature. Then B, second is the to know about the happenings, about the cause and reason, about the natural phenomena, a large number of systematic observations, and after that a controlled experiment should be taken care. Controlled experiments. Okay, so a lot more experiments have to be developed in the lab or whatever in the nature also. That should be have a keen observation about that. So to know the natural cause and reason or the results of the natural phenomena, number of series of experiments has to be done by that scientist or researcher. Then third, qualitative and quantitative reasoning. Qualitative and quantitative reasoning. Okay, Now what is this? Now the observer, what he observed from the by studying the experiment, by doing the experiment. So qualitative and quantitative reasoning must be given that. So that means that the this phenomena is occurring due to this reason or due to that reason. Means qualitative means theoretical definition reasoning should be there, logical reasoning should be there, and quantitative means mathematical proof must be there for the event that is occurring in the nature. So these are qualitative and quantitative reasoning. Fourth one is mathematical modeling. A model should be there, mathematical modeling. Okay, so what is this? Now mathematical models are suggested to account for the observed behavior, the behavior that we observed from the result that we observed from the experiment, that should have a mathematical modeling. Mathematically the proof should be there about that observation or results which comes out from the experiment. And fifth one is prediction. As already I have told that science is what? Science is what? It is that part of the study that we are going. Means we can say it is a systematic attempt to understand the natural phenomena and use this knowledge to predict, to modify, and to control that phenomena. So prediction is another important part or method step that should be followed in studying the natural phenomena. Prediction. Okay, so this is the concept of prediction. What will be going to happen if this experiment is done or what not? It should be predicted earlier by knowing the experimental, by establishing the laws that governs these phenomena. And finally, the sixth one, that is the verification and falsification of theories. Verification and falsification of theories. Okay, what is that? Now that's the what prediction, what observation have been done, the observation that should be verified by mathematical tools or other by conducting other series of experiments, and theories should be done, and that theory that will develop from these observation may not be the concrete, it may be volatile, that means it may be vary or modify according to the other observation or other experiment for the same natural happening. So these are some of the steps that is called the scientific methods that should be followed to know the basic reason behind the theories, the pros and the cons, that is the consequence of the cause, the logical reasoning about the scientific or natural events are happening in the nature. Okay, that is called the natural phenomena. So these are some of the parts of basic knowing the related to science. Okay, so there is no final theory in science. Another important topic is that there is another heading. There is no final theory in science. There is no final theory in science. What is this? Now, observations and experiments need theories to support them. Okay, observations and experiments needs theories to support them. Okay, so whatever observation or what experiments we are going to conduct, some theories must be there. Sometimes the existing theory is unable to explain the new observations. Hence, either new theories are formed, either new theories are formed or modification is done or modification is done in the existing theory. Okay, so if basically whatever the natural phenomena are occurring in the nature, after scientists studying about that, the cause, the reason, the results of that, some theories has been established. Okay, that theory will help for the followers to carry out any further experiments about that phenomena. Okay, if any new observation comes out, then that observation may not be explained clearly by the existing theory. So there must be any new theory must be formed, or there must be any modification in the old theory or existing theory. So for that reason it is said that there is no final theory in science. For example, to explain different phenomena in light, theories are changed. Okay, to explain bending of light, a new wave theory was formed, and a lot more also are there. Okay, so this is all about the final theory in science is not there. Okay, so this is for today's video. Thank you all. I hope you will get understand about this topic, and if any doubt you are having, then ask me.